afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Jason. How's it going, dude?
Yeah, pretty good. We're doing this on a Friday afternoon instead of like Tuesday or Wednesday, but
It happens. Unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah,
Before
technology being a pain.
Yeah, it comes and goes. How about for you?
Yeah, I could do without it, but you really can't these days. So,
all right.
Talking about technology.
Yeah, dude.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say before we get started, if anybody wants to check us out on social media, it's facebook.com/American Sports Connection or on Twitter at AMSportsCon, CON, pod, POD, or if they want to get in contact with you, Jason, it's at A Geek of Nature, all one word.
Yeah, you can get a hold of me there, say something, and probably not get an answer. I don't know. It depends. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
I hear you, dude. All right, so let's get into.
Might not get a nice answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get into last week's games. We had the first Thanksgiving Day game, which was the Lions winning it late against the Vikings, 16-13.
Man, doesn't it seem like that game was like 2 weeks ago? It doesn't seem like it's already been a week since Thanksgiving. Because it's December. But I'll get into the game. It was like an ugly game. I think we field goals basically won it. The kicker, Prater or whatever, for Detroit basically won the football game for them.
Yeah, well, Bradford basically hand-gifted him a nice interception to give him the game-winning drive.
Yeah. I don't want to forget that. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a defensive battle, I guess you would call it. Yeah,
you have, Minnesota's offense just isn't good. They have no offensive line. They don't have much of a running game, and I think they actually said that it looks like Adrian Peterson is not coming back this season.
Well, it would make sense for him.
That's an even bigger blow.
Yeah,
what's the point at this point?
Yeah, I wouldn't bring him back because it's not like they're a definitive favorite to make it to the postseason.
Yeah, they're not the 5-0 Vikings anymore. Not even close. They're light years away from that team now, and they just defensively, if they had an offense, if you give them above average offense, they probably still would be one of the best teams in the NFC.
Yeah, top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's pretend like this is Wednesday, and I won't even mention something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, there was no football last night. It was an open night. It was just a regular night. The game wasn't. It wasn't.
No, not very exciting at all. All right, moving on. We have the second game, which was Dallas hanging on to beat the Redskins 31-26.
Yeah, this game it did not surprise me. The outcome didn't surprise me, and the type of game it turned into did not surprise me because it's just like this is my thing. The Redskins I want to believe they're good, and then they go and they blow an 11-point lead at the half. And you're kind of like, what happened to that first half Redskins team that, first drive of the game, Elliott runs it in for a touchdown. It looks like it's going to be just a total shootout. And then their defense just got really good. They held Dallas to nothing but, you know what? I got this shit totally backwards. I'm an idiot. Dallas is the team that I'm lost, man. It's been a long day. Yeah, just edit that out or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, this is what I wanted to say. The Redskins, I want to believe they're a good team either way. Whichever way they played in this game, I want to believe they're a good team. I'm starting to get on that Kirk Cousins maybe being an elite quarterback bandwagon because he's constantly showing it.
He threw for a ton of yards in this game.
Yeah, he's pushing. Is he over? He's got to be close to 3,000 yards already this year, right? Like, he has to be.
I'm pretty sure. I'll double check.
Yeah, I can't. He's already got 3,500 yards this year. Never mind.
Holy crap.
Wow. So look at the kind of year he's having, man. And he's having a repeat like he did. Like, he had a 101.6 QB rating last year. He's got a 101.4 this year. He's given their starting job now. He's played every game since week 1 last year. And he's, like, taking over. I'm shocked in a way, but he's almost like...
And he has almost a 70% completion percentage.
Yeah, which in the NFL is a huge key to winning football games and to having success, I'm not trying to go too far off of the game, but just like... He almost reminds me of a non-hyped up Aaron Rodgers, if you know what I mean by that. He sat for a few years, behind a guy who should have been their future, and, circumstances prevented that from happening. And when he was given the reins last year and now, he's firmly got himself into being a franchise quarterback. I can't see any reason why you wouldn't throw a contract on him right now and go forward with him.
Lance is saying the reason that he has all those yards is because they're always playing from behind.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but when a team's playing from behind, they're going to pass. You should be able to stop him from having a 70% completion rate. Quarterback rating, 7% completion percentage, and a 101. I mean, dude, when you have 3,500 yards this early in the year with 4 games left to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 games left. I don't think you can argue against his output,
He might throw for 5,000 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't really use the Green Bay game because we know Green Bay's secondary is not good, so I can't really use that. But, I mean, he beat Minnesota. Minnesota has a good defense. They have a good secondary. I mean, I'll pretend like Minnesota's defense showed you last night that they can stop really good offenses. So he went in and he beat Minnesota. I mean, their kicker did a lot of the work, but Cousins early especially was great there. But all right, I'll rein it back in now because we're going to get really long-winded if I don't shut up.
But
we're going to keep going.
Dallas did what they had to do. Like, what I want to say is, like, the Redskins had, like, all the stats for the most part, but Dallas just kind of won where it mattered in the score.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with they have Ezekiel Elliott. And when you have Ezekiel Elliott, when games start getting a little crazy, you give him the football, and it's like 6, 7, 8, 6. He rips off runs, man. Like, what's he averaging? Like 5, 6 yards a carry this year? It's something like that, right?
I think so.
He's averaging 4.9 yards per carry. That's insane. You give him the ball twice, you have a first down. When a running back averages 5 yards per carry like that, you're not going to lose many football games. And Dallas also has a quarterback right now who, I mean, I'm not going to give myself a pat on the back, dude, but I told you coming out, when they drafted Dak Prescott, I told you we were in for some trouble because that dude was one mistake, drinking and driving, DUI, whatever, away from being a first-round pick. And I believe it was the Eagles who had him on their board at number 11, and the bottom kind of fell out of him a little bit. And, of course, history ended up, Wentz, the trade and everything. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I don't know if I would take Prescott over Carson Wentz because I think if you give Carson Wentz that offensive line and those receivers and stuff right now, I think he'd be putting up huge numbers too. But I think we're going to have Wentz versus Prescott for a decade in that division.
This is the feud you're kind of going to see for a while.
And you know what I think we really need to do now is we need to follow their blueprint. It's time to build our offensive line and get us a stud running back too, and we need a receiver. You know, the Eagles could take a lot of pages out of Dallas's playbook when it comes to building that team they built.
I agree.
And go forward with it, because Dallas's only thing right now to me is their defense. Their defense is still suspect to me. They're getting above average play from some guys that probably are below average players. But when it comes down into the playoffs and stuff, we'll see what happens. I personally think Seattle's the better football team right now, only because I can't sleep on I can't bet against Seattle's defense. It's just hard for me to do. But I'm getting to the point right now where I can't bet against Dallas's offense.
It's it'll be fun.
And this game, this Thursday afternoon, evening Thanksgiving game was the perfect football game you won on Thanksgiving. It was, you ate, you got settled in, and you got a great football game.
Yeah. All right. Next we have the nightcap where the Steelers beat up on the Colts 28-7.
Yeah, this was the game you don't want. This wasn't dessert. I'll put it like this: the appetizers kind of sucked. Dinner was amazing, and dessert sucked.
Well, it didn't hurt that Andrew Luck unfortunately couldn't play because of a concussion. Might have made it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, let's put it like this, dude. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, I didn't watch this football game. I didn't watch it. We went out shopping. We had some stuff to do. I was hanging out with Candace and her family and stuff. But once I saw Tolzien, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to say the guy's garbage, but he's kind of not good, you know?
Well, Mike
so Mitchell, I was just like, yeah.
Mike Mitchell took out T.Y. Hilton with a vicious hit over the middle. And then he about damn near crippled Tolzien trying to get into the end zone.
Yeah, I said I didn't watch this game. I did watch the fourth quarter of this game when it was basically over. And we kind of talked about this prior to today. Pittsburgh played this game like a very desperate team, and they won, which was what they really needed, because I personally still think they're the best team in that division. They're tied right now with Baltimore at 6-5.
Yeah.
Baltimore has the win on them, but I don't think it matters, because I think Pittsburgh beats them at home later this year, and I think Pittsburgh wins that division. I still think Pittsburgh is a threat to win the AFC.
Yes.
Maybe a Super Bowl, especially now that Gronk is done for the year.
That opens everything.
Yeah.
All right, Lance wants to know our thoughts on the NFL maybe getting rid of Thursday Night Football.
What do you think? Because I have a definite opinion. So
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I like that it starts on a Thursday because it's kind of fun. It gets you a little taste. But the problem is the competition with it, except for maybe a couple here and there, has been really awful.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the NFL shouldn't be looking at getting rid of Thursday Night Football as much as they should be getting rid of the color rush jerseys and uniforms on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, some of them are hideous.
I love Thursday Night Football. I really do like it. There's not much on Thursday night that, we go to wrestling on Wednesday night, so that night's booked for us. Other than that, other than Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, and Monday night, why not? I like Thursday Night Football. I don't think they should get rid of it. I think they should make an effort to have Thursday Night Football be more competitive, like you said. And I think one big way of doing that is having two teams that have a bye week the week before play on Thursday night, so they get that 10, 11 days of rest and then play each other. And make it better games.
Yeah, because I remember last year there was one specific game. It was Atlanta and Tampa Bay when Atlanta was at home, and it was like 45-7 or something.
At the half. Yeah. Yes.
It was like some ridiculous score.
I understand they want every team to be featured on Thursday night. You can't. It's like their secondary prime time. Teams that can't quite make Monday night can get Thursday night, and they feel a little special, warm and tingly, whatever, you know.
Lance said he has to turn his television to black and white with some of the Color Rush jerseys.
It's ridiculous, you know. And I saw where the colorblind association people, last year they couldn't watch some of the football games. They couldn't tell the teams apart.
Yeah,
because the uniforms are so the shade of colors are so I think it was the Christmas tree game. It was Buffalo against the Jets last year. It was the Christmas game. One team wore all green, the other wore red, and it looked like a Christmas tree was fighting each other on a football field. Yeah. And then you have green on green, so colorblind people are it's a nightmare. But to answer Lance's question, I really hope they keep Thursday night football. I just hope they try to make a little bit more of an effort to have.
And with the schedule makers, Dallas played 2 Thursdays in a row. How fair is that?
Oh, teams playing 2 Thursdays in a row?
Yeah, well, he said Dallas just did, and that's true. They played on Thanksgiving, and then they played last night.
Well, see, the thing about that is Dallas bitched and moaned and pissed and moaned real bad about getting that Thanksgiving Day game at home. So you kind of get the positive with the negative, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I mean, they still got a week rest. They still get a week rest no matter what. Yeah. They're getting a week off. So, and now they're getting 11 days off now to play their next game. So I don't think the back-to-back Thursdays is a problem. I think what would have really sucked for Dallas is if they would have had Thursday, and then who do they play next week?
I don't know. It kind of reminds me. Remember, it's where they played 3 games in it was 16 days or something. Remember, it was the year they played the Eagles with Mark Sanchez on Thanksgiving?
Yes.
See, that is unfair. Yeah. I could be impartial and say that's unfair.
Yeah, that definitely would be unfair to have. Well, they play Sunday night now, so they their game is, they play next Sunday night, so their game is kind of pushed back. Yeah, Sunday Night Football, which should be a good one because it's in New York this time. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's unfair. It's kind of, I mean, hey, look, those guys can play Thursday night. They have the weekend to go spend with their family and do what they want. So they probably might like it, you know, because they can go home. They can go Christmas shopping this weekend. You know what I mean? I'm not. I would enjoy it. I don't know about them, but yeah, they don't have to go back to practice until Tuesday.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, they have 4 days off of no practice. So that's definitely a plus.
Right. All right, let's move on. We had the Ravens surviving against Cincinnati 19-14.
Another snoozer. Field goals, basically, and then Cincinnati tried to make a late push, and they couldn't do it.
Not fun to watch.
We talked about this the other day. The Ravens are not a fun team to watch. Their football games are very bland. It's it's vanilla, man.
Yeah,
you know,
you're not kidding, dude.
Their football games are it's like eating a bland, gelatinous food every day when you watch them. It's just not fun, man. It's like when you get sick and you have to eat that Jell-O that doesn't quite taste like strawberry, but they say it is.
Like no flavored Jell-O.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, man. Have you ever had fat-free Greek yogurt? That's what it's like. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth every time.
Yeah, it's just both defenses are really good. It's just the offenses are terrible to watch.
Yeah. Cincinnati's kind of screwed right now. No AJ Green. They're just falling apart. Like, they're done.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Baltimore's making the playoffs either. To be honest with you, they're in first place right now, and I just don't. I don't think they're going to finish better than either Denver, Oakland, or Kansas City.
They're not going to make any noise.
Yeah, because I don't think they're gonna. I think Pittsburgh wins the division. I just said that a little bit ago, but I think Pittsburgh takes their division. I think Baltimore just doesn't make a playoff. I think your two wild cards are coming out of the AFC West, right, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have the Saints just annihilating the Rams, 49-21.
Yeah. Now you have the Saints, who are the cozy shack of pudding. The most expensive, best, pudding references all day here. The Saints are very fun to watch. I mean, for God's sakes, they got a wide receiver throw a 50-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter when the game was kind of over.
It was, yeah, I thought that was kind of in poor taste, but my fantasy team liked it.
Look, this is my opinion, man. If a team wants to get their ass whooped, lay it on them. If you're getting embarrassed, if you think a team's embarrassing you, you shouldn't let it happen. You know?
Play harder.
That's just my opinion. Yeah, I'm the kind of guy where, unless it's kids involved, like it's football and stuff, you're getting paid millions of dollars on Sunday. Stop yourself from getting embarrassed if the other team wants to embarrass you. You know?
Oh, absolutely. That's
just my opinion. I mean, I'm all for, stopping scoring touchdowns when it's 40-0 in a Pee-wee football, 12, 10, 11, 12-year-old game. Yeah, you stop. You put your backups in, you stop. NFL, if you can't stop a team, guess what? That embarrassment should make you work a little harder to stop a team.
Well, it just shows you the great coaching job Jeff Fisher does.
And he's going to keep his job. I don't get it. I don't get it. What job other than being a professional official in sports can you suck every goddamn day at and still keep it? A politician as well, I'm sorry. Politicians, officials, and Jeff Fisher suck and keep their job.
Lance said he wants. What is with the Eric Dickerson Rams stuff? He doesn't know what's going on.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Is it like a controversy or something?
They had like a falling out or something. Cause I had briefly caught something about it. I saw. Oh, he met with the Rams.
I think he went on. He totally blasted Jeff Fisher is what happened.
Yeah, he keeps saying that Jeff Fisher should be fired, which he's 100% correct.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree at all with that. Jeff Fisher should be gone. The funny thing is they had a meeting together, him and Fisher. He came out of the meeting and basically said, "Yeah, they're fine, but he still needs to be fired." So, I mean, dude, come on. But Eric Dickerson, maybe he should kind of
tone it down.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an opinion. You might as well air it out, right? What's
he's not hurting anybody.
I mean, he's got the best interest of that football team in his mind, so I would say he's definitely helping more than anything, right?
I agree with that.
I mean, and when you're as amazing as a football player as Eric Dickerson was, you kind of get a little leeway with what you say.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, next, dude, we have the Falcons beating up on Arizona, 38-19.
Oh, back real quick to Eric Dickerson. You know who Eric Dickerson should be really pissed off at? Is Ezekiel Elliott, because he's about to erase him from record books.
That's true.
That's who Dickerson should be mad at. Eric Dickerson's Hall of Fame records and everything, and is about to possibly no longer be there. So he should probably want Ezekiel Elliott to calm down a bit.
Yeah, really.
Sorry.
That's all right. No, I was saying about how Atlanta beat up Arizona pretty badly.
Arizona is officially, we talked about this, I'm ready to crown them the biggest disappointment of the 2016 season, in my opinion.
Yeah, with the talent they have.
They have an immense amount of talent. Like, they have arguably the best all-around running back in the NFL right now. Arguably, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm
not. Yeah. They have. Well, I mean, Palmer's at the end of his career. He's getting there. Their defense isn't bad. Like Tyrone Matthew or Matei or however you pronounce it, Honey Badger, I think they call him. Yeah, he's great, especially coming back off of that injury. Yeah, they have one of the best corners in the NFL. They're not a bad team. I don't know what's wrong with them. They come out flat. Like every week you expect them. Like I've been expecting them to turn it around since like week 4, 5, and it just hasn't happened.
They got the guy from New England they traded for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The what was his name?
Jones.
Yeah, Chandler Jones, the linebacker, the one that had like a drug overdose, and New England got rid of him.
Yeah,
allegedly.
You think they would be better?
Yeah, they're the team that, like, I thought on Thursday night against San Francisco earlier this year, after they put that whooping on them, I thought that was going to be I thought they were turning the curve.
Yeah, where they were going to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's all you can really say about this game because Atlanta had 5 total touchdowns, and it was three rushing ones.
Yeah, who had them? Devontae Freeman had 2, and then Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
1. Yeah. Matt Ryan, MVP candidate, possibly?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I guess he's kind of he's having a better year than Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins has been in the talk. So he's got 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a 114.3 QB rating, which I think is actually the best in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Matt Ryan is firmly putting himself into MVP talks, and I think Atlanta is they haven't folded yet. Like, I still expect it to happen. Like, I just can't get over Atlanta. I can't believe that they're ever a real threat.
I know
until they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they've looked good.
Yeah, right. I can't doubt it.
Yeah, all right, dude. Next, we have Miami surviving against the 49ers 31-24.
Yeah, what was it? The big stop at the goal line at the end, right? At the 2-yard line, 4th down or whatever. And Ndamukong Suh stopped Kaepernick 2 yards short. And
Kiko Alonso.
Kiko Alonso having a good year for Miami, man.
Yeah.
Weird wearing like number 47. It just doesn't. I don't know. Linebackers should wear 50s and 90s,
yeah,
but more so 50s.
Like a career year, of course, in a contract year.
He's not having a career year. His 1 year with Buffalo was phenomenal, but the year before he tore his ACL. Yeah, he's having a great year.
This was just a weird game.
Anything like Miami plays these weird games, like you just said, and then San Francisco just I don't know what to think of them, man.
I was gonna say I would consider them a disappointment just because I didn't expect them to be this bad.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about the other day. Big yawn. That's what we were talking about the other day.
Fire bad.
Yeah, everybody's losing their jobs bad.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely everybody's losing their jobs bad. But yeah, I think
on this one. Next,
one more thing, real quick though.
Ahead.
I think that the opening for Chip to go back to Oregon is there, and because they're having a bad year, he's not an NFL guy. Oh, they did fire him?
Yes.
Oh, so the door is it's wide open right now. The barn door is open for him.
Lance is saying he thinks Carolina still has a chance for the playoffs because this is a backtrack from Arizona. He thinks they still have a shot to maybe get.
Carolina 4-7. I don't think. Man, it's gonna be tight because you have Washington and the Giants. Because Carolina, I don't think Carolina wins that division. They're 3 games out now, and they're coming off another loss. They're a terrible road team.
They have to jump a lot of teams.
They have to jump a lot of teams. They still got to jump the Eagles. The Eagles are still better than them, and the Eagles suck.
And the man said the only reason is because Cam is his fantasy football quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think Carolina. Because let me look at their schedule just for. They play San Diego at home next week. Well, wait, let me see who they played actually this week. They're at Seattle this week. They're not winning that game. Week 14, San Diego at home. They can win that game. Week 15, at Washington. That might be their elimination game right there. Week 16, Atlanta at home. Atlanta could put the nail in the coffin there. I don't see them getting in. And then at Tampa, another team they're chasing. They would have to win every one of those games, basically. They couldn't afford. Yeah, they couldn't afford to lose a division game at this point because they're chasing everybody in their division, right? They're in last place.
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, New Orleans has looked a little better. Tampa has won 3 in a row, including beating Seattle pretty handily, you know.
Yeah, which we'll get into.
Yeah, I think Carolina's they're booking tea times at this point.
All right, next we have the Bills hanging on and beating Jacksonville 28-21.
Yeah, another one of those games that's just I can't get into a Buffalo and Jacksonville game. I'm sorry. Like I
they
just
need to be back in the Gus bus out of town there.
Yeah, Gus might want to get packing ideas from Chip Kelly. Those two guys might want to share good moving companies or something, because I think they're going to become unemployed soon. Bradley, I think he should have been fired probably at the end of last year. I think they gave him one more year because they thought they had enough talent, which they do. They have pretty good offensive talent.
That's why I want to see when they fire him if whoever they bring in can like make them better, because they sure as hell can't be much worse.
My issue is Bortles will have decent numbers, but do you ever notice that when he starts playing really well, they're always down by like 3 or 4 touchdowns?
Yes.
And I don't know. I think that team, like, they don't need. They're in the middle of a rebuild, kinda. They probably need a new head coach that's offensive minded. They need a system, because Gus Bradley's defensive head coach. He's the guy who built that defense out there in Seattle. So they're gonna need. I think they need a coach that has Bortles' best interest.
I agree.
Being an offensive coach, they need an offensive coordinator to become their head coach. And right now, there's some big time offenses that might have head coach guys that are possibly going to be head coaches soon, like maybe the offensive coordinator in Atlanta, the offensive coordinator in New Orleans, Dallas possibly, offensive coordinator. Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah,
like you said, they need. This game was not exciting in any sense of the word.
I just can't, like, when I look at the schedule and I see Jacksonville and Buffalo, I can't get excited for it, man. Like,
no, I agree.
It just doesn't do anything for me. I mean, you only had 270 total passing yards between the two teams, and that's just not. They both ran the ball well, and that might be why the game turned out to be boring, because they both did run the ball really well.
Right.
So, just not big for me.
Right. All right. Next, we have the Titans hanging on to beat Chicago 27-21.
Yeah, Tennessee, man, they're a team that I think are starting to open up some eyes. And Houston better be. They better. Have eyes in the back of their heads.
Well, the Bears gave the Titans a gift in this game because I saw the end to this game, and the one Bears receiver, I can't remember his name. It was 4th down. He had the game-winning touchdown, and it hit him right in the numbers, and he dropped it.
He buried it, basically, because they're a dumpster fire too, in my opinion. They're another team that needs they need a rebuild. Cutler's done. He won't play for the Bears.
Who'd ever thought you'd hear the name Matt Barkley throwing for like 300 yards?
Yeah, that's their starting quarterback next week too, man. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Again, this game was just meh.
Yeah, can't get excited for a Tennessee and Chicago game either. I mean, I don't want to offend the teams or fans or whatever. I just can't get excited for. That's just another matchup that does nothing for me.
All right. Next, we have the Giants eventually pulling away from the Cleveland Browns, 27-13.
Cleveland didn't play They didn't play too bad. They just couldn't get it going in the first half, man. And then they got a late touchdown.
They hung around, and then when they were within one score late, they just kind of like shot themselves in the foot like they always do.
Yeah, that's another team. Can't get excited for Cleveland either. It's like Cleveland and Chicago and Jacksonville and there's Baltimore and even Houston, kind of. I just can't, I just know you're going to get kind of a stale, bland, boring football from them.
Like Lance was saying, to backtrack real quick about the Bears, he said they need new everything.
Yeah, they do. I agree. They need a quarterback. They're going to need a receiver because I cannot see Alshon Jeffrey staying there.
Unless they tag him again.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to sign the tag. He can.
True.
He can kind of just tell them to shove it.
Yeah, well, we talked about this off air. The Giants are a team. Maybe we underestimated them that they would be this good.
The Giants have had a lot of success and other teams' failures, if you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, teams have basically self-inflicted wounds.
The Eagles, 2 interceptions in the first 5 minutes of the game. Eagles have the ball with a chance to win. Couldn't do it. Cleveland hung around, man. A good team would have won that football game against the Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants did not put them away, really. I mean, it was a defensive touchdown early in the 4th, and then, the Cleveland Browns are just Cleveland. The Giants, I don't know. I'm on the fence with them. I personally think that the Redskins are a better football team than them.
I tend to agree.
But we'll see.
To me, I don't know. I've just never been a big Eli guy.
Well, I can't get behind Eli. I mean, he's won 2 Super Bowls, which is insane. If you would have told me before last season, if you would have said in 2016, Eli Manning would have more Super Bowl trophies than Peyton Manning, I would have thought you were insane.
Yeah.
Of course, now they have the same amount, but I thought Eli was going to be Romo, in my opinion. That's a guy who I thought it would be a really good guy to compare him to. Would have been Romo. A couple playoff wins, but never could really get over the hump. And let's face it, dude. When they beat that 16-0, 18-0 technically Patriots team, Eli had a great game.
Yep.
So I mean, but he's which side of the coin are you going to get with him?
Good Eli or bad Eli?
Yeah, you're going to get just special. Never mind. I'll stop there. I'll stop there.
He hates the Giants. That's the team he hates the most.
Yeah, I can't. The Giants have a history of having guys that you just despise too. I can't stand Odell Beckham. I could never stand guys like Strahan. It's funny, I like Strahan now. I watch him once in a while when he was on not Kathy, the other girl.
Regis and Kelly.
Kelly, yeah. When he was with Kelly, I used to watch that show in the morning sometimes. And I thought Strahan was actually a cool guy, charming guy.
Yeah.
I hated him when he played football, though. I thought he was an asshole.
Another
but the
guy
Giants,
I hated for them was Amani Toomer.
Toomer was okay. I can't stand Jason Pierre-Paul. I think the guy is a moron. I think he's the biggest idiot. I call him Paul, P-A-W, because his hand looks like a dog's paw now. But it's Pierre-Paul, not P-A-U-L. But I can't stand him. The Giants have a history of guys that I just despise.
Especially here because it's more of a personal thing, because it's, New York and Philly.
Yeah, New York, Philly. We're from South Jersey, too, so we don't really like people up there either.
Nope.
North and South Jersey should be two different states, in my opinion.
Oh, God,
but, yeah, they have just guys that I don't like. And that's my problem with the Cowboys right now. Like, Dak Prescott, I want to hate the guy, but I liked watching him in college and stuff. So, Ezekiel Elliott, I think he might be a scumbag because he probably did beat that woman up or whatever, yep. And Dez Bryant, I can't stand. That guy's an asshole. He's the guy that punched his mom, right?
Yeah.
In the face. Yeah. So there you go with that. But well, then they got a couple other guys like Rolando McClain. He's suspended for like the rest of his life.
Yeah.
The other guy. But yeah, the Giants have a built-in roster of guys I just don't like. I can't stand them.
Yeah. All right now, dude, we're gonna move on. Next, we have this was I thought was a mild upset. The Chargers beating the Texans in Houston 21-13.
Yeah, this is another game that it doesn't do. I know it's got playoff implications with Houston and stuff, but Houston and San Diego are two teams that I just kind of can't.
And man, Brock Osweiler has really shit the bed, and he has talent around him.
Yeah, Osweiler, man, Denver's looking at it like my buddy Andy's a Denver fan, and he's like
better and better.
Yeah, well, he's like, I don't really like Simeon, I don't really like Paxton Lynch, but shit, if we would have signed Osweiler, we might be in the same spot.
Yeah,
and I think I was telling you this. I don't want to go off on another team real quick and talk about them, but real quick, I think I was telling you this, and I was telling my buddy Andy this. If I was Denver, I would call the Saints this offseason and offer everything for Drew Brees to get. Because I think with Brees, they can win another Super Bowl now, next year, no,
I agree with you. But this was this is a painful game. My buddy Alan is a huge Texans fan, and he's like, I fucking hate Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, Osweiler, what's he, the $72 million man now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not bionic like Steve Austin.
No,
I don't know. I think that's like a 70s sci-fi television reference that nobody will get. Okay. Not the wrestler.
Next, we actually have the biggest upset of the week. Tampa Bay beating Seattle 14-5.
14-5, man. A couple 3-run home runs by Wrong Sport. Wrong Sport. Sorry. Yeah, Tampa Bay, Seattle. It was an upset, but it was also a very boring game.
Yes, because Tampa Bay scored on their first two possessions in the game and then never scored again.
Yep. Mike Evans and Jameis Winston did all their work in the first quarter and cruised the rest of the way.
Yeah, and then he was lucky because their defense showed up because he threw a god-awful interception late in that game.
Yeah, man.
He threw right in the
I don't understand. Yeah, that's been the bugaboo with him, I think, in his career so far has been that he has lapses in judgment when it comes to throws and stuff.
by and large, he actually had a very good game.
Yeah, against a really good defense that
Which
he
is
put his
weird.
team. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, he had a good first half. His second half was kind of. Yeah, but
overall,
hey, they won. Tampa won the football game. There ain't no taking it back now.
Exactly.
And they're in the playoff picture now. They're 6-5, 3 wins in a row, and 5-3 in the conference, which is huge for them right now because they have a better conference record than Washington. They have the same conference record as the Giants, which probably won't come into play. So Washington is the big team that they're up against right now.
Right.
So, and they have a better conference record than Minnesota. So they're carrying a tiebreaker over teams that are fighting for a playoff spot with them right now. And
I agree.
Tampa they're kind of in the driver's seat. Like, if they can keep performing, they can, I don't think they're going to go anywhere, but because with Winston especially being an interception machine at times, but,
hell yeah.
He's a kid, man. Like, second year in the NFL.
But they're making progress.
Yeah, him and Mike Evans, I think, down the road are going to be an elite pair.
Right.
Especially if they get him an offensive line and running game.
Yeah. All right, next we have one of the more exciting games of the week, the Patriots hanging on against the Jets, 22-17.
Yeah, the Patriots, now they're in trouble, I think. I mean, it's hard to say that because what are they, 9-2 or something?
Yeah, well, for everyone that's been living under a rock, Rob Gronkowski has to get surgery on his back and will most likely not be back this season.
Yeah, for all you Helen Kellers out there, he's out for the year. Sorry.
That's a good one.
Yeah, they're in trouble, man. In my opinion.
And then Martellus Bennett's banged up.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Can they get Aaron Hernandez's conviction overthrown before next week or something?
Well, their issue, and you saw it a little bit in this game, if you can pressure Brady, their line is not very good.
Yeah, they have issues, man. Like, I see they're 9-2, so it's so hard for me to justify saying that they're not a great team.
But they always find ways to make it work somehow.
Yeah, they do. Like, they have guys that get open and catch the football. Like, I remember Lance said with New Orleans. New England's the same way, man.
Well, they got their new Welker, that guy Hogan from the Bills. Yeah,
man. Hogan is he's a white guy who can catch the football. Dude, if I was quick and can catch a football, I'd be calling Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Because you'll get a job. But man, they're smart. They're fundamentally sound football team, and they're well coached.
Will make a mistake.
They're a team, and I think that's the big thing that Belichick has. As big as a star as Tom Brady is, and Gronk now with his commercials singing karaoke for Madden and stuff, they find ways to keep those guys in the locker room, together.
You just reminded me, the Madden curse strikes again.
Yeah, I think the Madden curse died, though, because didn't someone on Madden, win a Super Bowl a few years ago or whatever?
It might have been Sherman.
Yeah, no, Sherman got it the next year, and then they lost it to the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Was it Peyton Manning? Was Manning on Madden 25 or whatever? Or?
Maybe.
I don't know. I know the Madden curse died with somebody. Somebody got the cover.
I always, when I see the person get hurt or have a shitty year, like, uh-oh.
I remember the year that, who was it on the cover of Madden? It was an Eagle, right? McNabb. I remember when they released that cover, I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
You're like, no, why?
Yeah, and then didn't he break his ankle the next year or something?
No, wasn't that the year he had the sports hernia? The year after
Sports
the Super
hernia.
Bowl.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, the sports hernia. Yep, man. The Madden curse. It's crazy that used to be a thing.
Yeah, that is funny. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have the Raiders actually hanging on and beating Carolina 35-32.
This was a crazy game, man. And kudos to the Raiders, dude. They came back. They got the 2-point conversion. They got the ball back late. They kicked the field goal. Their defense held up.
Man, they were up 24-0 at one point in this game.
No.
Excuse me, 24-7.
It was 7-7. Yeah, because it was 7-7 in the first. Yeah, 24-7 though. 17-point lead at the half to blow is still not good.
The insane pick six Khalil Mack had.
That guy, yeah, I did, and that guy is a stud. Like he is head and shoulders above I'm not gonna say everybody else, but like him and Luke Kuechly and who's the guy? Denver's got a really good guy right now that's been playing. I think Brandon Marshall is his name, right? Yeah, like Marshall's not up there with them, but when you get linebackers in the NFL, man, it starts with Mack and Kuechly, and it just goes downhill from there, talent-wise.
Yeah, insane one-handed grab for a pick.
And speaking of Kuechly, he's been ruled out this week again, which I think it's hard to think that he might not step foot on the field again this year.
Him anymore.
Yeah, and a guy like him, man, like maybe if they have him, they might have won that football game, you know?
Yeah, because they were killing him down the middle.
Yeah, Kuechly's the kind of guy that when he goes off the field, if you're an opposing offense, you probably you get happy, man, because Kuechly's that good. He's just insane.
Right. All right. Next, we have the game of the week, possibly the game of the year so far. Kansas City beating Denver 30-27 in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, you got, dude, it sucks, man, but that dude, Benny Fowler, if he just goes down in bounds, the game is over.
Yeah.
That's all he had to basically do.
You're right. Quick thing, I completely forgot, Lance brought it up. Carr dislocated his finger in that game.
Yeah, in like two places. Like, I hate seeing that, man. Like, finger dislocations, it just looks so bad.
Well, props to him because he just, they popped it back in and he put a glove on.
Yeah, I think they said he's going to play this week, but
who knows how effective. But
yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that real quick.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up because I forgot about it. I did forget about it. Thanks for Lance for saying it.
But you're right about this game with Denver. If the kid would have went down, I told you this the other day. I said, but it's so hard for guys now, especially young players, when you're like basically trying to outrun people that they just keep going instead of just...
Yeah. I remember what I said, dude. When you get in that open field, you don't see anything but that goal line. That's it. And I'll throw this out there. There's guys though who are smart enough to do it. Remember Brent Selleck for the Eagles that one year sliding and the snow game sliding down at the 2-yard line or whatever and letting the clock run. There was still 3 minutes left when he scored, so it's technically not over. But I believe at that point Kansas City had no timeouts.
Yeah, but Denver's defense had to do something. It's not on that kid.
Oh, Andy Reid coaches Kansas City. They definitely had no timeouts with 3 minutes left. But listen, man, kudos to Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Andy Reid, I will not bet against an Andy Reid team in November and December. I refuse to. When he was here in Philadelphia,
bet against them in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's sad to say. But remember, they won 8-9 in a row last year to get into going into the playoffs or whatever. Andy Reid knows how to win football games, and November and December, Andy Reid probably has one of the best coaching percentages in the NFL, especially if you erase those terrible Eagles years when he first got here and then right when he left.
Oh yeah.
But I chalked some of that stuff up. Andy Reid coached 1 year after his son died at training camp. So that last year that he had with the Eagles, I will never hold that against Andy Reid. It was time for him to move on. He needed to go somewhere else, man.
His record with the Eagles it's 130-93.
There you go. That's a good record, man. And if you erase his first and his last year, they went 4-12 both of those years, or 5-11, 4-12, right?
5-11 his first year, and 4-12 his last.
There you go. So that's 9-23.
Yeah.
So erase those 2 years, and you have an amazing winning percentage for Andy Reid.
Yeah, he's under,
so there you go.
Under 100 losses.
There you go.
Less than that.
Yeah. So there you go. Andy Reid. Other than year one and final year with the Eagles, which he had nothing in year one at all. No team at all.
And he's 59-39 since going to Kansas City.
Yeah, there you go. So
the game's over.
And I mean, Andy Reid is an elite coach at this point. He just has never got his hands on that big one.
Yep.
I don't know if he does. If the Chiefs make the playoffs this year, I'm going to root for the Chiefs. I'll put it like that.
That's fair. But
because I like Andy.
This game was a cool ending where the kicker hits the crossbar and it bounces in.
No, the upright. He hit the left upright and it bounced in.
And he was a former soccer player, so they were teasing him. They were like, "Oh, well, maybe you meant to do that."
Yeah, dude, he hit it. I saw the ball. And I didn't know if the ball came forward, sideways, went in. I was like waiting for the announcers to say. Like I was like, is it over? Is it a tie? Well, it's over for sure.
Chris Collinsworth said he's like, what happened?
Some of the holder put his hands on his head. He thought he missed it. Did you see that holder? No. He put his hands on his head and put his head down and was like, no. And then the kicker starts going nuts and he's like, we won! It was so great. It was such a non-reaction from so many guys because the offensive lineman threw his arms up and was like, did it go in? It was such a classic finish to a game that like nobody knew except for the two referees who were getting ready to put their arms up to say it was good.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. Then when they showed the replay, you could see it clearly caught the inside of the upright and went in.
Yeah.
If it would have caught maybe an inch or two to the left, that's a tie football game.
Yeah.
Well, it's ending in a tie because that was it. That was the last play. Crazy. But yeah, man, it was great. That right there, in my opinion, was the game of the year so far.
I agree. All right, now to end last week, we had Monday night, the Packers beating up on the Eagles 27-13.
There was a Monday night game?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. Where do you start? Eagles have their cornerbacks are terrible.
I said this, I think, to you off air. That
you did, yeah.
Highlighted the Eagles' two biggest needs: more corners and a top shelf receiver.
Yeah, I think next week the Eagles should play their corners at wide receiver and their wide receiver at corners and see if maybe they have talent that they just have on the wrong side of the ball. Because they suck, so they're gonna suck either way. So maybe we should just play Aguilar at corner and see if he can cut somebody because he can't catch the ball.
I will say this: the only one I think that is serviceable and is going to be a star is Jalen Mills.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I was defending him early in the year when a lot of Eagles fans. I was like, yeah, he gave up 70 yards in the first half to Julio Jones. How many touchdowns did Julio Jones score in that game, though? Remember the big third down play? he defends the ball against Julio in the end zone. Jalen Mills will give up yards early, but Jalen Mills is a pretty good cover corner, and he got like totally just like Eagles fans were just piling on him early in the year, and I'm like,
just think about the talent he's faced, like Odell Beckham, Julio Jones. You know, the list goes on and on.
You know what's? I think you're going to agree with me on this one, and I'm gonna say this, and I absolutely 100% mean it. The best player this season for the Eagles has been Caleb Sturgis, their kicker, which is crazy. And Sturgis has been, he's making. Well, he had one bad game earlier this year that I think he missed 2 field goals in, and we ended up losing. Right?
Yeah.
Was it the Detroit game?
Yes.
Yeah. But they still won that football game if they don't fumble the football, so that's not on him. But Sturgis has been, and I was against them giving him that extension, but I go back on it. Hey, I'll admit I made a mistake.
Be proven wrong like that.
I love it. If an Eagle proves me wrong, if I say an Eagle sucks and he has a great year, then I'll tell him to his face that I doubted him and he proved me wrong. I'm more than happy.
That's another all I really thing in this game about this game. It was just really an annihilation.
There was a couple of really bad calls too. Officiating got, even Michaels and Collinsworth were pointing out. Not McDonough and Gruden. Yeah, we're even pointing out.
I'm wrong. If you hit a quarterback high, is it anywhere above your neck and up is a penalty now?
Well, the neck, no, because it's not the head technically.
Okay,
but
the reason I ask is because I was going to complain about the call. I think it was Fletcher Cox that did it, where he hit Rodgers high and he got him in the throat.
Yeah, no, he just wrapped his arm around him and got him. It was a clean hit.
Okay.
Yeah, the Gruden was mad about it. Remember?
Yeah.
Because he basically rock bottomed Rodgers. Is what happened. He got him up high, and he just followed through with the hit. I didn't think it should have been a flag. McDonough didn't think it should have been a flag. Gruden didn't think it should have been a flag. 70,000 Eagles fans in their place didn't think it should have been a flag, but one official did, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And did you see the NFL they're going to hire 17 full-time officials now?
Good.
Yeah, well, they need about 40 more.
Well, it's a start.
Yeah, well, it's basically, I think, to the point where the officials have been holding games ransom. We'll call whatever we want because we don't care. We got a union. You're not paying us what we want, so we don't care how we do our job. So maybe now we'll start seeing a little bit better officiating.
Let's hope so. Dear God. All right, dude, before we make our picks for this coming week, we're going to go over last night's game since we're a little late. Dallas survived.
I think we should save it, dude. I think we should save it for next week. Because we'll do the show on a regular day next week, and we'll be good.
All right, that's fine. All right,
Dallas didn't play last night. I don't know what you're talking about. That didn't happen. Yeah.
All right, then. How do we do in the picks?
You had 4. I had 6 this week. That gives you another 2 on me, which means I think you have about a 4-pick lead on me now.
Okay.
4 to 5 something. It's close. Like a couple weeks here and there, and we will be. All right. I had Minnesota over Detroit. You had Detroit, obviously. We both had Dallas over Washington. We both had Pittsburgh over Indy. I had Arizona, which I don't know why I keep picking them. I keep expecting them. You had Atlanta. That was another wrong one for me. Now we're just going to get a straight row of ones we both had. Buffalo over Jacksonville, Tennessee over Chicago, Giants over Browns, Dolphins over Niners, Saints over Rams, Ravens over Bengals. We had all those right. 2 in a row we lost. We both had Houston. They lost to San Diego. We both had Seattle. They lost to Tampa. We both had Oakland winning. Lance actually picked a line on that one. I made note of that. So Lance is 0 for 1 this year. He only has 1 loss, though. You still there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. Just making sure. New England beat the Jets. We had that, and we lost the 2 prime times. We both had Denver, and we both had Philadelphia. They both lost. Kansas City beat Denver. Green Bay beat the Eagles. So that puts us at, I don't know, I'll tally them up soon and keep notes so we know every week what the actual thing is. But you had a pretty decent week. I had a mediocre week, and I'm actually 2 mediocre weeks in a row for me. So getting into this week, the game already happened, obviously, but we talked on Wednesday night, and we both said we were picking Dallas. So we both have Dallas.
Right.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Philadelphia at Cincinnati.
I'm going to take the Eagles just because the Bengals' offense is a little bit worse than the Eagles.
I'm taking Cincinnati. I'm done picking the Eagles. No real reason. Okay, here we go. This is a good game in my opinion. Kansas City and Atlanta.
Ooh. I will take Atlanta just because they're a better home team.
I agree with that, and I think their offense is good enough to get the job done. Denver's offense couldn't do it. Atlanta's will. San Francisco at Chicago. This game right here is the crap of the week.
Can I say a tie? No,
Well,
I'm kidding.
I mean, technically you could,
I'll
but
take the Bears because I think they're as bad as they are. They're not as bad as the 49ers right now.
see, I think the Bears without Cutler and Jeffrey are as bad or worse than San Francisco because the 49ers haven't played that bad lately. They just lost a couple tight games, so I'm taking San Fran to win this one. Houston at Green Bay. This is another one that's tough to me.
I'm going to take Green Bay just because the Texans look like they're in trouble.
Yeah, I like Green Bay and Lambeau as well. The Rams at the Patriots.
Oh, God. This is a lock. The Patriots.
Yeah, I got the Patriots as well. Detroit at New Orleans.
Ooh. I'm actually going to take the Saints because it's at home.
Yeah, I don't think Detroit's defense is going to be able to stop Breeze and the Dome. I like New Orleans as well. I agree with you on that one. Denver at Jacksonville.
I'm leaning Denver even though Paxton Lynch is going to start.
See, I think this is one of my locks of the week because after that loss and Bortles against Denver's defense, I think all Denver has to do is score like maybe a touchdown, and they're going to win this football game. I just can't see Bortles doing anything against that defense. Those guys are going to be pissed on Sunday, and I think Bortles and Hearns and all those guys are going to get the brunt of what Denver's defense, and Denver's defense is getting healthy too, and that's even scarier.
That's true.
Because they have, what's his name? The big lineman back. Derek Wolfe, right, is his name? Yeah. Miami at Baltimore.
Ah, man. I'm going to go with Miami.
I agree. I'm taking Miami. I think this game is going to be the first hit to Baltimore's playoff chances being gone. Because I think they lose this one. And then I'm going to have them losing to Pittsburgh later on, and I think they're going to lose in there somewhere else. I think this will be the game that Baltimore. You really start to see that Baltimore is not a first-place playoff team at all. Buffalo at Oakland.
Oakland.
Yeah, that one was pretty quick. I agree. I like Oakland in that one. Washington at Arizona.
I'm taking the Redskins because Arizona looks like they're fool's gold.
Son of a bitch. I said I can't. I'm taking Arizona. They're going to win. I'm picking them again, and I'm going to lose with them again. You got Washington. Yeah. You know what? Hold on 1 second, dude. I want to go back and see how many times I've lost with Arizona. 2. I had them beating San Francisco. Whoa, what a big pick.
They cost me my Dynasty League. I picked them against Buffalo, like in week 3, and they got massacred up there.
Yeah, I lost against Carolina with them. Maybe I should not pick them against Washington. Well, we both had them beating Seattle, and they did. That's crazy. So
yeah, that's weird.
And I had them beating the Jets. I'm sticking with Arizona. I can feel it.
Okay.
All right. The Giants at the Steelers. I think this is a huge game this week for both of those teams because especially if Washington can beat Arizona, the Giants really need this win because they play Dallas next week.
I'm taking the Giants for the simple fact of the Steelers secondary is not good.
I'm taking Pittsburgh for the fact that the Giants won't be able to stop Pittsburgh's offense. And because Pittsburgh's at home. I like Pittsburgh in this one. Tampa Bay at San Diego.
I'm taking the Bucks.
I agree. Already wrote it down for me. All right, we can just keep going. Carolina at Seattle.
This is, I think, a lock for Seattle.
Yeah, especially coming off of that bad loss. I agree.
I just read Kurt Coleman isn't playing either in that game.
Oh, okay. So they lost Kuechly and Coleman. That's not good. All right, that was the Sunday night game, by the way. This is the Monday night game here. Indianapolis at the Jets, a stinker.
I'm taking the Colts because they need it.
I'm taking Fitzpatrick and the Jets this week. I'm going to go the Jets, man.
Fitzmagic?
Yeah, maybe we'll get some of that. Maybe I'll get a win. Maybe I'll have a good pick week this week because I haven't had one. I think you've beat me. Let me see. 1, 2. We tied. You beat me. You beat me. Man, I'm on a. You beat me. Damn, we tied.
Yeah, you're on a losing streak.
We tied. We tied. We tied. We tied. Dude, I haven't beat you since week 1. that can't be right.
That's funny.
Holy crap. I haven't beat you since week 1. And you know the funny thing is week 1 when I beat you, that's the largest win margin in picks that we've had this year between the two of us.
That's funny.
That's why it's so tight because I beat you pretty good week 1 and then since we've had basically all ties and you winning by like 1 and 1 and 1.
That's funny. That's
why I think you have a 2 or 3 pick lead on me right now. I'm going to get you back this week. This is going to be my big week. I'm going undefeated this week.
All right, everybody.
Oh, shit. That means I got to root for the Bengals because I picked them.
You don't want to do that.
Oh, man.
All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we'll see you back next week. Have a good night, everybody.